Hi everybody, it's Matthew Ray, and the name of my show is Stay Raised. Today my topic is sexual assault, rape in prison, county jails. Alright, this story is about a person that I know. We're not friends, I know him, he knows me, we never got along. He just rubbed me the wrong way, but still, he didn't deserve this. And the crazy thing is, this didn't happen in prison. This happened in a county jail. These are all people that are going home, waiting to go to court, or waiting to get sentenced to go to prison. Well, the person I'm talking about, I'm just going to say his name is Freddie. Freddie had a shoplifting charge, and he got sentenced to 90 days in a county jail. Alright? Skinny white kid, probably like 150 pounds, soaking wet. Alright, now before I get into the actual incident, I gotta explain Hudson County Jail to you. Alright, when you get arrested and you go to Hudson County Jail, there's 2 holding cells you go to before you get into your population where you're gonna stay. The first one is H100. So as soon as you get arrested and you get brought to the county jail, you get changed into your greens and then they bring you to where you're gonna stay, and that's H100. You're there for 2 or 3 days, do your medical, and then you go to the second holding, which is D100. And there you're there for a couple days, and then from there, classification, they put you where you're going to be housed at permanently, well, during your stay in the county jail. Now, when this had happened, this was in the early 2000s. So anybody that was in prison in New Jersey and had to come back, whether it was to see a doctor or to they were coming back for court for another charge or appealing their sentence, whatever. Well, these people were housed in the second holding in D100 with regular people that were just fresh off the street that could be leaving today waiting to get bailed out. And now these are people that's been in prison for anywhere from 10, 20, 30 years. And now they're mixing them. Some of them are murderers, rapists, whatever. Now, Freddie, he was in his cell. And in Hudson County Jail, it's a 3-man cell. As soon as you walk in, it's 2 bunk beds, and then on the side, it's the highway bunk. And in the corner is a steel sink with a toilet bowl connected to it. And at the top where the toilet bowl would be is the sink, and then you push the buttons and there's water. So he's in his cell by himself. 12 o'clock, no, not 12, about right after lunch, inmates from state prison are coming to handle court. So it was these 2 kids. They've already been locked up for 15 years. They're not. I think they both got sentenced to be co-defendants. They got sentenced to 30 years. They've been in for 15 years already. They're huge, huge. I mean, they've been doing calisthenics, push-ups for 15 years. And now, this is what he told me. They were well over 6 feet tall and way over 250 pounds. Just solid muscle. So these 2 kids, they're co-defendants. They get put in Freddie's cell in D100. Now, all right, let me stop for a second. I've been in Hudson County Jail a million times, and anybody that's from Jersey City and travels in the circles of, like shoplifters, drug addicts, anybody that's always in and out of county jails, everybody knows each other because everybody's from Jersey City, they go to this jail. So when you get there, and you get to your place, so no matter what tier I get sent to, I'm going to know at least 10 to 15 people on the tier that I know from the streets. That, like, these people are my friends. I know them all my life, all right? So, 5 or 6 of us go in the cell, and we're talking just about life in general, about what we did to get there. And the topic of rape always comes up, and everybody says the same thing. That would never happen to me. They would have to kill me. I'm fighting. It's never going to happen. And Freddie, this is when when we saw each other and he told me what had happened, because I heard, and then I seen him, and then this is what he said. He said, Matt, everybody says the same thing. If somebody's coming to rape them, it's not going to happen. They're going to die before they let that happen. And he said, Matt, these 2 had me in a cell, and they waited for me to get up in the middle of the night to piss. So he's facing the steel sink. The one big kid pushed him forward by his throat, the back of his neck, and held his face in the sink, while the other one pulled his pants off. And before they started raping him, because he was screaming, get off, and they started beating him. Bad. I mean, he said, Matt, I would have done anything they wanted just for them to stop hurting me. That's how bad they were hurting me. Just punching me in the, like, I felt his ribs cracking, his jaw broke. I mean, they were beating him into submission. And he said, everybody says that would never happen to me. You know, they would have to kill me. He said, Matt, it didn't matter. I would have done anything for them to stop beating me. I'm like, that hit me in the heart. Like, literally, there's nothing you can do. One person was sitting on his back while his head is in the sink, while the other one is raping him, and they're beating him nonstop, taking turns, raping him, switching, raping him, switching, all night long till breakfast. 4 a.m, they popped the doors, and the kid was a bloody mess. They didn't even put him on the bed. He was laying on the floor, just covered in his own blood. And then what happened was they took him out, and because of that instance right there, from that point on, they never put state inmates in with regular Hudson County inmates that aren't sentenced yet. So they stopped doing that, thank God. He actually won a lawsuit, you know, but who cares about the lawsuit? They beat the kid to a bloody pulp, and they're taking turns raping him. And he's like, literally, Matt, it didn't matter. What could I do? 150 pounds, there's 2 of them, that's 250 pounds. He's like, I would have done anything. I wanted them to just do it, get it over with, so it would be over. And he's like, Matt, it just kept going on all night, you know, nonstop, raping. And like, what are you supposed to do in a situation like that? There's like, you're not less of a man because it happened. You physically can't stop these people from doing whatever they want to do to you. They're gonna do it. There's nothing you could do about it. So like, what are you supposed to do in that situation? You're not gay, you know, because that happened. You were raped. There was nothing. You were forced into this. Nothing you could do, right? I mean, 2 men, one sitting on your back, beating you to your bloody pulp. I'm gonna leave you with this story. Now, when I'm growing up in Jersey City, like I said, there was a group of us, 20, 30 of us, and we all hung out in this place called Mosquito Park. Now, you could look at us, the group of kids that hung out in Mosquito Park, and you could tell 12, 13 years old, not even close to being even adolescent or to an adult, little kids. And we would be in that park all night, drinking, just doing crazy, stupid stuff. And there was a friend of mine, Kay. He was walking past the park, and it was like 12 o'clock at night, and car pulled up, asked him for directions, and he pulled Kay in the car, and he wound up beating Kay up. But he was trying to actually sexually assault this kid. And like I said, when you see, if you would see the kid Kay, you could tell 11, 10 tops. So I guess it became a thing in the pedophile community to drive on Kennedy Boulevard around the park, that late at night there was kids out there, you know, and they would try to pick up these little kids and have sex with them. Straight pedophiles. That's all it was pedophiles. There was not one person that was with us that you can look at that person and be like, he's over 12 years old. These are babies. We were babies, little kids, but we were nuts. And there was a lot of us. So we had this plan where we're going to put our friend Jay-Z out there onto the street. I'm calling him Jay-Z for short. Take his shirt off and just walk back and forth in front of the park while we were in the park, and there's a pathway. On each side of the path was a pile of leaves. There were 6 of us buried under this pile of leaves and 6 of us buried under this pile of leaves. Jay was out there on the boulevard, and he was 11. He was 11. We put the one that looked the youngest, looked like a baby out there, right? There was never in any danger. We were right there, nothing would have happened. But our plan was to put him out there and then see if he could get one of the pedophiles to get out of the car and then walk through the park. And then we were going to jump out and beat him up. I know, it's a bad thing to do, but remember, these were straight predators preying on little kids, 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 12 tops. So the way I look at it, anything goes. Anything goes. And the only reason we started doing this is because one of them actually grabbed Kay, pulled him into the window, and was like, you're going to do this to me or I'm going to fuck you up. And then he beat the crap out of Kay, 11-year-old kid. So we wanted to do something. We wanted to do something about it. So I'll never forget, it's 1 o'clock at night. Jay-Z, we put him out there on the boulevard, no shirt on, you know. And a Lincoln pulls up, of course, and he goes to the driver, listen, the driver goes, you want to get in, you know, hang out, you know, I'll get you something to eat, and maybe we'll do something else. Straight insinuating sex already to a fucking 11-year-old kid, right? Said it immediately. So, the kid, Jay, we had the script already for him. Jay said, listen, I'm attracted to you, and I want to do things with you, but I'm not getting in the car. I'm not getting in the car. I'm a little kid. I'm not, you know what I mean? Get out, park the car, get out, and let's go in the park. It's 1 o'clock at night. Nobody's in the park. We'll sit on the bench, you know, we'll talk, and we'll do whatever. So the guy said, okay, you know, being hungry, thirsty for an 11-year-old boy, you know, parks his car. Jay walks him into the park, and he walks him right down the path. As soon as he gets to where we are, the 6 on this side and the 6 on this side. We jump up, and now we got this guy. We sit him on the bench. We put him right there. We have knives and pipes and everything. Sit him on the bench. He's scared to death. We take his wallet out, right? His driver's license. While we're doing this, we have somebody in his car going through the glove compartment, getting his insurance and registration or whatever. So we got him sitting on the bench. We know where he lives. We got his license, got his registration, got his license plate, right? We know everything about the guy. No, so we're telling him, listen, we know where you live. We got all your information. If you ever come back here and if you ever try doing this ever again, if we ever see you here, we'll come into your house and we're gonna burn your house down. We're gonna kill you. We're gonna not kill. We're gonna beat you up. So scared him to death like that, and then we threw him a beating. We gave him a beating. Maybe there was 14 of us, 11, 12-year-olds. We couldn't do that much damage. But then we beat the shit out of him. Told him, if you ever do this again, let all your pedophile friends know. Don't ever come around here doing that type of behavior ever again. Roughed him up a little bit, threatened him, and he was on his way, got in the car. And we started doing this on the weekends, and every weekend it was crazy. Every single weekend. Put Jay out there, and no longer than 10 minutes, not even kidding, no longer than 10 minutes, a car was going to pull up, and a car pulled up every time, and made sexual, telling the kid, Jay, you know, I want to do this with you, and every single time, and every single time, every weekend, we did the same thing. He would lure him in the park, we'd jump out of the leaves, get all his information, sit him down on the bench, tell him, you know, where you live, you know, if we ever see you doing this again, we'll come into your house. You know, and then roughed him up a little bit and sent him on his way. Is that bad? Like, I struggle with that. I mean, it's a horrible thing to do, and I know that. I know it's a horrible thing to do. But on the other side of that coin, this was a predator, and he was preying on babies. When I say babies, baby-faced 11, 10. If any of you have kids, 11, 10-year-old. He's propositioning these 11-year-olds for sex. That's a pedophile. That's not a gay relationship. I have no problems with homosexuals. My best friend is gay. This is a pedophile. Straight pedophile. So, and I struggle with this, you know, because there's some things that I did growing up, and you're going to hear all about the stuff that I did. But this is one that I do struggle with. Now, I know if my friend would have gotten to that car with this guy, willingly, he would have had sex with this kid. He would have had sex with this 11-year-old. He would have performed sexual things all with this 11-year-old if we let it happen. And he would have done it, clear conscience, no problem. Now, like I said, we roughed him up every single time. You know, we know where you live. I don't feel bad about that. I really don't, because these people were scum. Wanted to have sex with an 11-year-old, you know? It's nuts. But, like I said, this is me just getting stuff off of my chest. I'm not condoning violence. I'm not. Even against pedophiles, it's wrong. Violence is wrong. This was just, you gotta understand, my mentality, I was 11, 12 years old, you know? So, I have the mentality of 11, 12-year-old. And a pack mentality, where everybody's trying to be crazier than the next. So yeah, things sometimes got a little out of control, but again, we were 11 or 12, you know, we weren't adults. we're out that late, so our parents aren't parenting. You know, we're out there in the park 12, 11 o'clock at night. So apparently, you know, I'm gonna get to my father in a different show and my mother in a different show. But I still struggle with that. I don't feel bad, but was it wrong? You know? Drop some comments. Let me know. Like I said, I'm not condoning violence. It's just things that I did as a child, and I'm letting you know. All right. This is Matty Ray, and the name of my show is State Raised. And like I said, if you want your artwork back here, send it in. And every week I'm going to pick a different background, put it up. I'm going to put your name right here and your artwork right here, and I'll keep it up for a week. So if you want your artwork up there, send it in, and I'll choose one every week. And now I'm jumping back and forth a little. My last episode was about me going to the youth house for the first time and everything. And when I went to the youth house, there was kids there that were actually forcing other kids to perform oral sex. You know, but there was just, you know, you're so young and they no guidance whatsoever. Their kids are hitting puberty, and they hear from prison stories, so they think they gotta emulate what they're doing in prison. You know, so like they're grabbing weak kids and beating them up, making them perform oral sex and thinking that it's cool and everything, you know, when it's really not. It's just, this is whose fault is this? Is it the parents? Is it society? Because you know the saying, a child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. You know, that's pretty deep. So like, who do you blame for these children acting out like this, acting out in the worst sexual way possible? I mean, actually grabbing people and making them forcing another little kid to perform oral sex. You know, it's horrible. Like, something's got to be done. So in these youth houses, the one I was in was like, it was horrible. I told you that the warden in this youth house was supposedly, he was molesting kids, and he finally got caught, thank God, and out of there. But he was there for 25 years. So how many people did he actually molest in 25 years and got away with it? You know? Hopefully things have changed. And right in front of the youth house. This youth house isn't there anymore. There's another one on the property, but now it's boot camp. But this one that I was going to, with this warden that was molesting people, like I said, it had the huge sign out front, "Welcome to the youth house. We have beds available." And that used to bug me out. Like, these people really think it's funny, like it's a joke. Like, I used to drive down Seaside Heights, and right before you get into Seaside Heights, you see the billboard where it says, "Come on vacation, leave on probation." You know, like, something's got to change. Something's got to change with the way these children are acting. Who's teaching them what? Is it the school system, the parents? You know, I don't want to push politics on anybody, but that's something that needs to be addressed. Hopefully it will be addressed, and the youth houses have been changed, and they have different outlets, and that's the thing. And at that time in the youth house, no repercussions for what you did. People were putting cans of Jack Mac batteries in a sock and blasting people in the face. The second the lights went out at night, no bullshit, they would have battery fights. D batteries this big. As soon as the lights went out, and the COs did not care. COs they were there just for a paycheck. As soon as the night guy came, he'd sit in a chair and he would be out. He would have his Walkman on, and it didn't matter what was going on. You would get in trouble. If you woke him up, you were getting in trouble. As soon as the lights went out, D batteries, just everybody whipping around like snowballs. They didn't like you. They were putting locks in socks, batteries in socks, and destroying you, blowing you up. You know, blowing you up, and the COs did not care. I seen people get split from here to here. Horrible. It's the little kids, you know. The most important thing to a little kid back then, especially in the youth house, is being tough, being crazy. Who can hurt somebody the worst, you know? Horrible situations over there. I seen somebody there, they actually got the can from a tuna fish can, and they bent the can this way, right? So that when they cut somebody, you can't sew it up, because if you sew this side up, it's going to spread the other one open. So they had to put the putty in the face, and it was just, and the punishment for that is just four hours in solitary confinement in a little room that's just got rubber floors, rubber ceilings, and rubber walls. That's it, 4 hours. That was the statement, that was the maximum that you can get put in lockup as a juvenile. 4 hours. So literally, you could put somebody to sleep, rape them, cut their face, and the worst thing that's going to happen to you is you're going into the closet for 4 hours. So what kind of deterrent is that? You know, it was just, unbelievable. Unbelievable violence. I'm going to keep telling you more stories as they come to me because I'm doing this off the cuff. But also, with this platform, my background art, the Biggie Smalls, Maddie Ray, State Ray's my show. If you would like your art to be my background for a week, just send the art in, and every week I change it, and I'll put your name up here, and I'll have your artwork displayed, and it'll be up there for a week. If you like it, send it in. But please, when you hear my story, hit the comments, leave some comments, hit the subscribe button. Tell me what you think of the show. Like I said, I've never done this before, so I'm sorry if I'm coming off nervous, but I'm doing my best, and I'll get better as I progress. And seriously, I got stories for years. 100 years I'm gonna be doing podcasts. I got so many stories. But like I said, if you want your artwork on my platform, send it in. I'm gonna pick one every week. It'll be here, and I'll put your name on there so your artwork get out there. Use my platform. I want everybody to be happy. If you want your artwork out there, just send it to me, and I'll put it up. As long as it's nothing sexual or perverted. But put it up, put your name, and then you're good. Next week I'll pick somebody else's and put it up. Okay. Let me see. Where was I? Okay. So, just to let you know, in the youth house, sexual deviants. A fifi. Do you know what? All right. A fifi is this, and everybody had one. All right. Now this is crazy. You would. All right. The way they did it was insane. They get a rubber. All right. They get a towel and they roll the towel up, right? Then they put a rubber glove in the hole like this, and they pull it down over the towel, and then they heat the oil. They get their lotion, they put it in a bucket of water with the stinger until the water boils, heats the lotion up, and then they squirt the lotion in there, and then they put it on, and they have sex with it. It's called a fifi. The SEALs would just laugh about it, but that's like condoning sexual deviant behavior. It's just one of the cogs in the system that are broken. And like I said, I don't know how the youth house art is now. So if anybody works in the youth house in New Jersey, let me know. Has it changed much since I've been there? And like I said, when I was there, they actually gave you cigarettes every day. So I was there in the 80s, the early 80s. And like I said, after the first time of me getting sent to the youth house, that was it. Never released to my parents ever again. So if I jaywalked, they were sending me to the youth house. So, I could tell you a million stories, and I was always in the worst dorms. Dorm 1 is the worst dorm, and I've never made it to Dorm 2 or never made it to Dorm 3. I'd be in Dorm 1, I would get in so much trouble, I'd be put into the BMU, to the Behavioral Modification Unit. I'd be in there for 2 weeks, and I'd go right back to Dorm 1. So, like I said, at the end of my show, I'm going to give you advice verbatim from a friend of mine who's a criminal attorney on how to deal with police so your rights aren't trampled, And the artwork, send it in. Whichever one I pick, it'll be up there for a week with your name. My name's Maddie Ray. The name of my show is State Raised. I hope you like it. Like I said, I'm not a public speaker, so this is something that I'm going to be doing with you. Hopefully everybody likes it, subscribes, and just comes on this journey with me. Right now, I'm living in New York. I'll tell you a little about myself. I'm living in New York. I'm getting a divorce from my wife. I have a 5-year-old son that I'm trying to get visitation. Right now it's just a bad situation. I don't want to go into that, with her or anything. And I'm in the process of going and get my GED now. Even though I was in the military, but they lost all my transcripts, so I don't have proof that I graduated high school. So now I have to go take the high school equivalency test. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm studying for that. Take my high school equivalency test. I actually want to become a nurse. So after I get my high school equivalency, then I'm going to start going to Hunter College and then studying to be a nurse. It's my time to help people, I guess. I'm tired of hurting people, taking from people. So that's going to be my way of giving back. It's a calling. I've always wanted to do something like that, but I'm not smart enough to be a doctor. And hopefully I'll maintain and pass the nursing classes, But that's going to be my way of giving back, taking care of my debt to society. Now, some of these stories that I'm going to tell you that I did growing up, I just want to state right now, I'm not condoning hurting anybody. I'm not condoning any type of violence. What I did, and I'm sorry for most of it now, and I realize looking back, like I was an idiot. I was just a wild kid growing up, and I don't want anybody to take from this that I'm condoning violence or anything like that. I'm trying to help people, and like this would be perfect if you really want to get help from my podcast. Do exactly the opposite of everything that I did, and you're going to be a success in life. Right? But I've hurt a lot of people. I've hurt my family. I've robbed from my family. Just in and out of jail my entire life. My wife used to say, you know, jail is your life and the streets are your vacation. And, you know, that was basically the truth. And I can't go back in time and change it. It is what it is. I've lost plenty, you know. So I just, like I said, that's why I'm studying to become a nurse. So that's going to be my way of giving back, trying to do the right thing in life. You know, try to get my son back in my life. He's 5 years old, so I'm just trying to do the best that I can now. That's the end of my show, so I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you like it, hit the like button. Please, on your way out, hit the subscribe button. Drop a comment. And then until next time, practice makes perfect. See you next week. Like I said,